Hello, and welcome back for the last time to Therapist Plays Disco Elysium. This time for real, no more like, oh, we're going to be wrapping up soon and then there's 7 or 8 more episodes. Like, it's time to actually roll the credits. And I can hardly believe we're here. It's been about a year and a half that I've been with Harry and Kim and Martinez and you all, really. I kind of see the beginning of the Disco Elysium series as the kind of the beginning of the channel's second arc, because there was a time where I was talking about anime before I played games. And Disco Elysium was, well, it was my attempt to change things up before I decided if I was going to quit this project or not. Because I was kind of burnt out on doing the anime content, and I was actually burnt out on doing eurobrady in general. And I thought, okay, I'll give this one shot, you know, to try a different format, play a game. This game had been on my backlog to play for a long time. And if it works, maybe I'll continue. And if it doesn't, probably move on to something else. And putting that first Disco Elysium video out kind of changed everything. There was this whole new community of people who showed up. I decided to completely focus on playing just this game with a few addendums for most of the year. And, you know, this series has meant so many things to me. But most of all, I feel like it's been a journey of, like, therapy. It's, like, the one thing I can relate it to because, like, it's been good for me. Absolutely. Fundamentally. Net good. But, like, there have definitely been times where I have not wanted to show up. I have not wanted to go to my, like, therapy in Disco Elysium. I have not wanted to talk about the problems revolving around it or, you know, my life revolving around it. But I always knew that it was important to go anyways. And that despite not always feeling ready, I did always get something good out of it. And, you know, just like therapy, you're not supposed to stay in it forever. There is a time for things to come to a natural end and find closure. And I really do feel like I have found some as a direct result of this game. You know, like, this game has given me a new creative life that I didn't expect, you know, in playing games and talking about them and using them as, like, a platform to discuss mental health. Like, I really just thought I was going to start playing this game and talk about it. I didn't know what it was going to turn into. I certainly didn't know it was going to last this long. But I think because it's taken so long, my relationship with it has only, like, deepened more so than most other games or projects that I would have embarked on. And, you know, like I said, there have been times where I did not want to show up. Like, I was really kind of done playing this game. Or you can go back and find episodes of me at, like, episode 30 saying, I think it's time to wrap this game up. Delusion. Complete delusion that I was anywhere close to that. And there have been times where I've definitely, like, talked myself in and out of, should I fucking just quit this game? Should I just stop all my other work and focus on it until I'm done? Like, I'm ready to move on with my life from it. I've had a lot of existential crises around it and whether or not to continue. And if I was going to continue, how? And you know what? Ultimately, I ended up not deciding to do anything except just keep playing it the same way I always have. Not shortcutting anything, not reducing the level of analysis or critique, like, not trying a different format to skip through it. Like, I just... Something told me, like, keep showing up for it. You know, keep going. It will end eventually. And the times where you're feeling fatigued, I've just taken breaks, you know, sometimes long breaks from it. You know, the series has stopped being really the main vehicle from which I grow my channel. Like, since I've done some of these other series and the channel's grown 2, 3, 4 times the size. I don't even monetize these videos anymore because I'm tired of having to butcher the soundtrack. So, like, finishing this has not really been so much a creative pursuit for a long time, or like one for the channel. It's been for me, and it's been for you. Like the people who've actually held out and fucking continue to watch this series a year and some change on. I couldn't do it, you know, for those reasons. So I'm so truly, truly grateful to the life that this series breathed into the channel, and the life that you all have continued to give it long after its expiration date. So thank you, genuinely, for being here. And let's finish this. It's time to go back to Martinez and see how all of this wraps up. You know, in the last episode, I kind of gave some of my closing thoughts on the narrative of this game and its themes, and how meeting the deserter is kind of like just the perfect analogy for how complicated this whole story and all of the systems that interact in it are, from the psychological angle to the political angle and all of these things. But really, like, although the story of Martinez and the story of Revachol are coming to a close, the thing I'm most curious to see an ending to is the story of Harry and Kim. You know, the story of Harry to me is one of seeing yourself become so damaged and broken over time, to the point that you no longer have the capacity to work on yourself or any investment in yourself. Like I said in the last episode, something close to maybe what the deserter feels. Harry tried to end his own life. He didn't see another way out to escape the person he'd become. And waking up from that and meeting Kim and going on this adventure, it's really been like getting a second chance. You know? I didn't quit the series. Harry didn't quit his life. It's what's put all of us in harmony, I think. And when I think about the story that we've told with Harry, this one of seeking redemption, not clearing the record for the wrongs we've committed, maybe a couple, but redemption of his soul. Can I change enough from who I was? And can I learn, if not to love, just to accept the person that I am, enough to keep going? That's something that I feel has been the major theme of my story with Harry. And, you know, it's been a story of my life too, because I've kind of alluded to it before, but I'm not very happy with the person I've been all the time. And I see this game as being like something that really exposed me to a lot of my own qualities that I wasn't happy with and kind of tried to change away from. And I think that that's the most powerful thing that, you know, a story like this can do, is show you what it's like and inspire you to do something similar. We're not all so lucky to have someone like Kim who sticks with us through that entire journey, good and bad, tolerates our mistakes, forgives us for them, and is very patient while we figure things out.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
Let's return to the mainland.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. 2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Who is waiting for us?
Look what the tide brought in.
Says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
No one else seems bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Forget about all this. There's a giant phasmid.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
He points at you with both hands. Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstar. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Yes. What is Trant doing here?
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Quemar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it.
Actually, my partner is standing right here in the bomber jacket.
Special Consultant Trent Heidelstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Trant is in on it? What the fuck is happening?
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
Yeah, it's suddenly regaining his confidence.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
You're goddamn right he is.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you've got to have my back. Let's destroy them.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kid.
She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant the tiniest of smiles.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
What is about to happen?
Harry, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in?
This is the horse-faced woman. I don't know why you named her that, but it was beyond idiotic. You should never address her using those words again.
Okay.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science.
They've really roped this poor man into something far more nonsensical than he really deserves.
My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets.
Yeah, what the fuck? Okay, I need my whole team on my side right now. Authority, tell this man. Volition, back me up. I'll even listen to some of these guys right now. How did you know I was here?
Cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
What? Damn you, cafeteria manager. You betrayed me for the last time. Gart told you. I saved his establishment and still he betrays me.
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building. It was on fire.
Yeah, I lit it on fire. It was a poetic gesture.
I knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trant? I told you it was our shit, kid.
The line is from Lou Giatun's Mirova 82, isn't it? About girl child feminism, the titular returning character to ghost the apparition of... Good choice, Harry.
He looks around and noticing the impatience of his companion stops himself. Yeah, you didn't expect Khan to back me up, did you?
Don't encourage him, Trant.
You know what? I think Trent should stay.
Okay.
You aren't the man with the sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
You don't know. You don't know anything about what we've been through and who I've become in your absence.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Maybe if you hadn't been so sarcastic, I would have realized I knew you.
I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to batter you up after you told us to fuck off.
Well, I did expect something to be off.
You? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
Maybe I don't.
Judging by the familiarity you feel toward him, 2 years minimum? Or maybe a short but close stint on the task force?
I feel like the time barely matters, okay? I've been with this man next to me for less than a few days. We've grown to be brothers in a way that you and I never were.
He's right. Don't start guessing. Now's not a good time.
I'm sorry I didn't recognize you before.
It's okay. I didn't come here to gloat or to fool you. Neither did he, actually. We're just worried.
That's right. Worried. I'm always worried about you. Every time you don't show up to work, or when you do but stink. You're a worry fest. She's worried about you. I'm worried about you. Even Special Consultant Backpedal is worried about you. Everyone worries instead of working.
But I get the sensation that he's not worried humanistically about me, but more so like worried about what I would do to fuck things up. So, Trant Heidelstein turned out to be Special Consultant Trant Heidelstein. Fucking Harry.
Yes, I'm Trant Heidelstein. I never said I wasn't Trant Heidelstein.
What was up with the kid then?
Mikael? Mikael's my son.
I don't think Harry's getting that they just grabbed some random guy. He's not actually a part of anything.
His son. What a joke. Everyone is laughing.
Oh yeah, where the fuck is your son now, Special Consultant? Okay, we can't be that stupid, as funny as it is. Okay, sorry.
No problem.
What are you specially consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
Duped again. No one's who they say they are.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Gardener, scab leader, this. Turn to the lieutenant. Tell me at least you are who you said you were. No, I won't even dare doubt Kim's integrity. Okay, that does have something to do with it, yes.
No. Everyone's just a brilliant master of disguises.
I don't think Kim has once disguised his true intentions from me. You mentioned a task force?
Yeah. Major Crimes Unit. Under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstein, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
That's poor guy.
Fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Okay, who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trant because I'm forcing him to stay.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
Like you were.
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing. For both of you.
Okay, so what does this unit do?
Do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
Okay, look. I may not have records of all the things that I did here in Martinez. These weren't necessarily crimes I solved, but they were things that I did, and those things mattered.
They're your posse, or what remains of it. Hand-picked, hand-lost.
The 41st isn't
He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry.
He shifts his way, crossing his arms, and looks you in the eye.
You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
Wait, so you let me face a squad of trained killers alone just to teach me a lesson?
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
I said all those things? I'm not like that anymore. I'm not.
Yes, you're sorry. You're the sorriest cop who ever lived. Nothing has changed, Harry. I've heard this repentance shit a million times over.
I am such a sorry cop that I tried not being one. I tried to be the apocalypse cop and the god detective, and like, it just, I couldn't even finish it. I feel sorry so deep in my bones. None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, Pell, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
This is the question I feel like I've been waiting for this entire playthrough. Because it's now the time to reflect, you know, like, what did happen to us? You know, it's the question that I'm often asking people, not so much in like a neurocognitive way, but when someone comes to me asking for help and they're feeling a little lost, or in some cases, very lost. I wonder what happened to them, not just in a what were the events leading up to this kind of way, but in your mind, what happened to you? And for Harry to be able to answer this question, after everything he's been through, what's the most true to him? Socioeconomically, so poor I lost my memory. Not quite. I drank so much that I lost my memory and I'm slowly recovering from it. True, but not at the emotional center of what we think. I made it all up. It was a fantasy, a stupid joke. I know who I am. I don't think we're that detached anymore. It might have something to do with an anomaly in the church, a 2-millimeter hole in the world. Also accurate, but not necessarily the reason for the disappearance of our memory. I'm a highly experimental detective. This was a method I used to solve the case. There's no time for jokes, Harry. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism. You know, under the cover of so many ways we've justified what's happened to us and who we are and the many costumes we wear to cover up our flaws and people we've pretended to be, like, this is a true acceptance of what happened. I couldn't be me anymore. I didn't know how, and so I tried to shut down the system.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying, or insane, or both.
It does happen.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
The two cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case and the next world mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
They were.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here.
Gestures towards the scenery.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input.
Is he saying that, like, what happened to me is a pretty expected consequence of the world that I have to live in and the role that I have in it?
Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a crétin now? I want to know that.
I just solved the most fucking difficult to solve crime of the century.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Leadership now.
I'm ready to lead again. Line detective is good for now. Fuck off. You know what? I do feel like Harry has regained the confidence of leadership only because we've had the confidence of Kim for such a long time now. And Kim is at least the most stable person in this reality that I've seen. And if I have this confidence, why shouldn't I have my own again? Maybe I am ready to lead.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Maybe there's some self-preservation instinct that says, don't tell them the real reason, but you know what? Speaking of self-confidence, being honest about this doesn't hurt me anymore. You know, it doesn't hurt me in the way that Volition warned me about, to look closely and deeply at some of the hardest psychological truths. The split with Dora, what we did to ourselves. We're not afraid of those truths anymore. I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip.
If that's a consequence I have to face, then so be it.
It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
I got my badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
God damn it, Harry! Come on, we've been we've been dropping shit this whole playthrough. I still got 2 skill points. I may as well use at least one of them. Maybe I need one more. Fuck it. That's good enough.
Juggle the badge for a second, unsuccessfully,
Oh, okay.
some 2 meters away.
Of course, I just love the idea of him fumbling it because he's got a flashlight and a Kvalsund in one hand and the other. Oh my God, it's so me.
Ouch! You strained your elbow trying to catch that stupid thing. Damn it.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm done pretending I'm something I'm not. I'm a fucking mess, okay? I'm a klutz. I'm not smart. I'm a complete burden to all of you, okay? Maybe I don't deserve to be a leader. Maybe I don't even deserve to be a cop anymore. But I do deserve some fucking dignity.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
He's unimpressed.
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements.
My gun is right here.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I'm not drunk. I haven't started drinking again.
So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then?
I've been hanging around with some individuals.
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
That's right. Fucking back me up, Kim. I need you right now. Yeah, I've handled an actual corpse.
I don't believe you. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain Roby, because you were too drunk to take her in.
That's not true either.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsohagi's. We know.
This is really an interesting scenario that the game is presenting, because this is actually something that clients I've worked with talk a lot about coming out of addiction, is all of the work that they do to repair themselves. It's not always a clean road by itself, right? A lot of mistakes are made along the way, a lot of bumps. And when they try to re-enter the life that they were in before, you don't just get a guaranteed, like, pass back into people's grace and trust. All of the things that we've changed away from, we're still that person in their minds. And it's only Kim who has actually been a witness to all of these things. It's kind of like we're on trial here for demonstrating that we actually have changed, that we have changed enough. I let her go. It was an act of mercy. She was going to shoot herself if I didn't. It doesn't matter. She didn't know anything. I feel like the thing that I'm not on trial for here, though, is honesty. I'm not ashamed of the choices I've made. I'm not even really that ashamed to drop my fucking badge. Okay? It's just who I am. I let her go.
Oh, well, if you let her go. I'm not even gonna get into the 80 other suspects you haven't brought in, because it's hard. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 9 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry.
God damn it.
Fucking mass murder.
We're losing morale here. Losing health.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Kim is getting involved, and he's defending us. Kim.
Here comes the cavalry.
Thank you, Kim.
He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
I also solved the case. It's solved, all of it. Yes, that's true. But it is also true that I'm just sorry. Like, I can't help it. I am the sorry cop, you know? And I do think that despite some, like, redemption by solving the case and some proper reframing, like, we don't have maybe the burden of guilt that we would over all of these tragedies, but that doesn't mean we're not sorry for them. I'm a fucking sorry cop to the end. I am just sorry.
Stop being sorry for 5 minutes.
And here comes Kim. Like, not even Kim will let me be sorry cop.
Thank you for the input, Yatonki Tsurage. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
I love that. I love that Kim is like, bro, you gotta believe in yourself here.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
What is your take, Kim?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
This.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian social economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
Barely, Kim.
You should yell something.
That's not a good idea.
Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
I'm gonna let them talk.
Other still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, but he is vocal about both of them.
At least he sees the contradiction that we're really not ascribed to any ideology. We're a total mess.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Amphetamine, mostly. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
Go ahead, call it out. Say it's bullshit. We have photographic evidence.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
So as you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist. I gotta stick to the role play. I wouldn't. Harry wouldn't. I'm so heartened and humbled by everything that Kim has to say. And it's a strange thing when someone talks about you. I experience this quite a bit from the person talking about someone else point of view, because, you know, there's times in the therapeutic process where I reflect to my client, like, how things are going. You know, we both might check in on some of those things. And I'll often tell people, like, the full range, you know, like, you're still struggling in these areas, and you have some of these ideas that are really holding you back, and you're also killing it at these things. And I've seen such dramatic change in you. And, like, it's a really heartwarming thing. Somewhat uncomfortable for some people to hear, you know, them be talked about. But I think all of them, whether they're comfortable with it or not, show an appreciation for someone paying that close attention to them. And that Kim hasn't just stuck it out with us because of some sort of duty, obligation, but because he genuinely thinks these things. And in spite of some of the weirdness of us, he's still here. I'm just gonna take it in.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Yes, it is absolutely connected.
Detective?
Yes, I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation. I fucking nail him, Harry.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
That's what I've been saying!
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
I've impressed Trent! And Kim!
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
His tired eyes follow the photo as the lieutenant puts it away.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Yeah, I also started a nightclub in the church. No, it's not the time for that. The phasmid was female. No. Confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad. Man, I did so much stuff. There's also a dead man. A missing person I found. Yeah, well, maybe we get a chance to talk about all of these. This one was pretty important. We found a missing person.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How did you know that?
Body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Yeah, but I delivered the news to his widow.
Still, good work with the missing person, detective.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is.
Rue de Saint-Gislain 10, a commercial building where all businesses go bankrupt. I looked into it. The curse turned out to be possibly entroponetical, part of my larger investigation into Martinez itself. Trant's gonna love this.
I'm 100% sure it didn't turn out to be that. You know, cut the amateur entroponetic 2mm hole shit. This isn't Paradox B. We're a police force.
Back me up, Trant. Isn't it interesting?
It doesn't look like the lieutenant wishes you to push this angle further. Cut it out.
Damn it.
Is indeed what he is thinking.
I confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad. That was important.
Who's Kuno?
Fuck. Do I have to explain that?
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You did the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink.
I fixed the strike situation.
Now, it seems to be ongoing. I see red banners on the gates.
Well, I resolved the disputes between Joyce and Everard, sort of.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Everard, until the rep came to see that the union desires war, at which point Mrs. Messier decided to...
What? Hand clear the terminal?
I masterminded a solution to an unsolvable problem. It actually was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I have to. I gotta be honest. This is the time to do it.
You bet it was. Sounds to me like you got played by Claire. And it's true. You are his little peon.
Okay, I did get played by Claire, but I am not his peony. Maybe.
Maybe. Certainly. You're Everclear's peony now, just as I said. He's a mob boss, did you know?
It's
Yes.
not quite like that. The move allowed us to stabilize things here. It was not bad for Martinez, and we don't owe anyone anything.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, Kim.
Okay.
Silence. Good. The man doesn't know what to say.
The previous head of the Dubar Doors Union was assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Everard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little. That's true. Good thinking, Kim.
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed.
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
It absolutely would be
I
huge.
would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
There has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
Okay, I think I'm gonna leave this stuff out because it makes us sound strange. But we do have a strong motive for the killer.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
Matronym?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother instead.
Okay, as much as I love you, Trant, now is not the time for a history lesson.
This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Okay, never mind. This is totally helping me.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
He killed the mercenary hoping to start a war between the company and the union. Not quite. Rage induced by the semiochemicals. I mean, it was an act of jealousy more than it was these other things.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation. Aggravated, possibly, by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason. Said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died. Right on the island. And 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
That's right. We have fucking miles of evidence at this point.
It's a clean win.
It's way more than that.
It's a perfect folding mechanism, like the phasmid. It's way more than that. It will win me Dora back. No, Harry. It's my masterpiece. They'll teach this in cop school. I did all I could. Every second was a struggle. I'm still not completely satisfied with it. Could be just a little neater. You know what? My instinct would be for the character to go with this, but like having fucking Kim tell me here at this moment, stop being so fucking sorry for yourself. Like you deserve to take credit here. I believe him. I do fucking believe him. It was a perfect folding mechanism, like the phasmid.
Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there, like in your bones or something. It will pass in time.
Maybe these won't harm the case. Let's just see what happens. We started a nightclub.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church.
Look, okay, I did this for good reasons. I saved some kids from a life of drugs. I did some kids a solid, turned their lives around. That's fucking right, okay? It is noteworthy, and it was a part of the case. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
That's right. Even Kim sees it now, for all his whinging about how pointless it all was.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
Fine. But I still think that was one of the most important things we did. The phasmid was female. The reeds are in its nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
It spoke to
You
me.
had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Yes, Trent.
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
All right, I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis. Maybe?
In cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Just a hunch. Fuck it, dude. He told me.
Interesting. Then it is especially vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the entire species. We're probably talking conservation efforts here.
Okay.
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
He gathered some items.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
I still think it was female.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
I think it emits this chemical that makes it look even more like the reeds.
Yes. That would be a pheromone. A pheromone that's seemingly beneficial to the host. It usually stimulates the affected nervous system. Not a human's, of course, but perhaps a predator's?
The perpetrator seemed intoxicated somehow, like an addict. It's just a hunch, but...
There are species of bees that, under the influence of pheromones, take wasp larvae to their hives. Ants do the same with aphids, thinking they're... Do you think this is how it stayed hidden?
Nothing is off the table. But I want to stress this. The find does not have to be connected to the case. The case is 100% prosecutable, without any pheromones.
Kib is reeling us in here.
Of course, Lieutenant. Of course. We should treat the case and the phasmid as completely separate from each other. People are not going to...
They're not going to go for this speculation in the constabulary.
Yeah, well, it had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
I mean, to me, that just says that you're planning to use it for political reasons, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised at this point.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
All right. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
And saved the kids and did all that other cool stuff too, but yeah.
So I have to. Jude,
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
You haven't been drinking, she thinks. So maybe this time.
Or smoking, or doing any of those other things.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
All right, Trent, you're losing me. Sounding very corpo over there.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
Wait, I have a few questions about myself.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but
What before?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
That does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair,
The collection of found sportswear I've amassed.
the fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is, and how you're able to perform a 360-degree spin kick too.
It kind of does explain a lot.
Raw, robust stamina output.
That's right.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. God, even this javelin throwing freak here.
When? When was this?
20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
Said in Quran? I was a gym teacher there?
Yes, you taught gym in school. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue.
Holy shit.
Boards.
The high school gym teacher. Is that why I am like so like strongly advocating for like the fucking kids and the youth of Martinez? Like, is that deep in my subconscious as well? That like I've seen the results of poor education and failing society on kids firsthand, and so it becomes a very distinct passion for me.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
Oh my god, it actually is! What the fuck? This is weird.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
Why did I join the RCM then?
You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
What the fuck, dude? I've just been going at that angle because I personally find those things the most interesting. The fact that that's become like actually part of the roleplay this whole time. A distinct lack of mentioning the most important child here, though, the Fritta girl. Undeserved.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Okay, I see now.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being would learn like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
Okay.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Was she called Dora Dubois?
Dubois? It was Dora Engelund, I think. You've said her name, but you weren't married. You were engaged.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Damn, Volition just coming out swinging. 6 years?
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one.
Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
I mean, what did she do?
She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Okay. Really inappropriate here.
Heartbreak, Welkin. Pain, Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
I mean, sort of have to clarify this point. A psychiatrist would be someone who prescribes medication, and a psychologist would be the one providing therapy. So, yeah, get that straight before you insult me, buddy.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Okay. Am I a dirty cop?
No,
No?
you're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
Glad we cleared that up.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
What kind of precinct is 41?
With the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Torsen and McLean?
Lack the torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
And the Sea Wing is...
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
Anything but a loser. Although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
And Price
Colin
is...
Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance?
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It
Holy
wasn't good press.
shit.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Yeah, got it. Got it, Trans. You weren't involved. What happened? Why did we go there?
Enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast.
So I work for the Bloody Murder Station.
Okay. It's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
I need to tell Lena about the Phasmid.
Who is Lena?
She's a cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about the Phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
Oh, I would love...
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part.
Absolutely. I would love to be able to deliver that closure for her.
You should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
Fuck, it would.
She is going to be over the moon. Watch out or she'll faint.
And what about Kim? What will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Rivershoal.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Do you want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant to investigate. Come work for us.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit in. And crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one. But he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
Well, he didn't say no.
I do like the sound of that.
He returns her smile.
He's really considering it.
Ah, okay. I'm ready. I'm really ready now. The deal is sealed. The case is solved. I may be a sorry cop, but I am a fucking cop again. And maybe, even, I'll have the best goddamn lieutenant ever by my side once again.
Good.
Let's do this.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmair? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Let's go.
Okay. Hello. 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 And welcome back to Therapist Plays Disco Elysium. This guy he's a communist, right? Let me take off the mask that I know anything about politics. I do not. Don't worry, this game will teach you. I hope it does. How do I feel about politics? They make me anxious. I genuinely couldn't distinguish like the ideologies of communism versus free market capitalism. Like Kim doesn't want me to get involved in politics either. And who benefits from that wide net, Kim? Who benefits? I'll tell you who fucking benefits from all of this. Wild Pines. Maybe, just fucking maybe, we are an unwitting agent of change for the Wild Pines group. The thing is, you gotta ask who benefits, and you gotta ask where's the money? Where does it all go? Tell you what, who benefits? Everett Clare would probably benefit from a fucking war zone happening. You know what? You know who doesn't fucking benefit? Literally everyone else. The world's most laughable centrists. Defend the political center 7 times. I am not even a centrist. In real life, I'm interested in the political ideology that supports better social welfare systems for people so that the individuals I help in therapy have access to the care I provide.
Down with the bourgeoisie. Eat the rich.
What is this communism even about? Truly, I'm seeking to be informed here.
Failure. It's about failure.
There's likely to be some correlation with sociopathy and people who are highly successful. Why do all of the billionaires seem like they are fucking inhuman? Well, because they don't really seem to understand humans anymore at that level of wealth. Like, you're not even really a part of the society that everyone else is in at that point. Like, you might as well be a different species. Although I'm not like that concerned about hurting their feelings. They're gonna be fine. The billionaires of the world, that is, real and imagined. They will make more money in a day than everyone who has ever watched a video of mine will make probably in their lives. Like, that's how fucking much money it is. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just tough. It's tough out there, guys. At all levels of the economy.
I'm proud to come out ahead, no matter what.
Wow, how human-like of you. Fuck it, I'll just say it. Billionaires aren't people.